was your birthday? Sure, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They've reported this matter the following day on Wednesday.
What's your name? What's your name? And what we want? Justice! What we want?
What would you do if the person you loved, the one who once said they'd cherish and protect you, turned out to be the reason you vanished from this world forever? A photo uploaded online, seemingly just a sweet moment between two people in love. But for the other woman in this story, it was a sign of betrayal. And for the man caught between them, it was the beginning of a crime. Donnelly Donaldson, a 24-year-old vibrant young woman, a rising social media star, vanished without a trace after spending the night with her boyfriend, a well-known police officer. The prime suspect? The very man who once vowed to keep her safe? Even more chilling, the other woman in this twisted love triangle was also a police officer. Donna's disappearance didn't just shake Jamaica, it exposed the terrifying shadows behind toxic relationships, the abuse of power, and the deafening silence of an entire system. This is a story of love, betrayal, and the pursuit of justice. But more than that, it's the story of a young woman who was killed, simply for loving the wrong person. Welcome to Echoes of Crime, where shocking true crime stories are told. Leave a comment to let us know your thoughts so we can bring you more stories that matter. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's dive into today's story. Donnelly Donaldson, 24 years old, a shining name on Jamaican social media, a youthful face, always adorned with a smile as warm as summer sunlight, but also a heart that has stopped beating forever. Born and raised in the capital city of Kingston, Donna wasn't a girl born into luxury. She was raised by a single mother, Sophia Logan, who always spoke of her daughter with unmistakable pride. To her, Donna was not just her little girl, she was her entire world. From a young age, Donna stood out. Bright, quick-witted, and naturally creative, she thrived at Kingston Technical High School, excelling not only academically, but also in the arts, especially in fashion design and performance. She once dreamed of becoming a doctor like her father, but over time, she realized her true passion lay in content creation and storytelling. At 20, Donnelly stepped into the world of media. She appeared on the reality show 876 Roommates, where she quickly captured attention, not just for her looks, but for her boldness, humor, and authenticity. Her relatability made her beloved by viewers, turning her into a familiar face to tens of thousands of followers. But Donna didn't stop at fame. She was a doer, a true boss babe. She launched her own loungewear brand, Dijondi, and created Talk with the Boss, a platform where young women could connect, learn, and inspire one another. Donna didn't just build beauty for herself, she lifted others, especially girls who, like her, started from nothing but carried a big dream. Donna was light. She was hope. She was the embodiment of freedom, modernity, and independence. She didn't wait for opportunities, she made them. She didn't shy away from judgment, she chose to be herself. She didn't withdraw from pain, she chose to spread love. Those who met Donna say she carried an energy that put others at ease. She was the kind of person you'd meet once and never forget. A woman who shared her story with honesty. No sugarcoating, no pretense. But behind the glowing selfies and viral TikToks was a darker truth few people knew. A toxic relationship, one that slowly suffocated her spirit and dimmed the light in her eyes. Donna kept smiling, kept living, kept inspiring, even as the signs of control, jealousy, and emotional abuse began to creep into her world. Donna Lee Donaldson, a radiant young woman, fell in love with a man no one could have imagined would be the very wind to sweep her off the face of the earth forever. His name was Noel Maitland, a police officer with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and a well-known music producer in the entertainment industry, often recognized by his stage name, One Time. On the surface, Noel had it all: a career, fame, and the commanding allure of a man in uniform. Their story began like any ordinary romance between two adults. But even from the very beginning, there was something off about the way Noel loved. He never fully acknowledged Donna in public. They had photos together, public outings, shared moments, but it all felt incomplete, as if Donna was only allowed to exist in a compartment of his life, a compartment he had full control over. The early signs crept in silently, like tiny fractures on a seemingly perfect glass. Noel regularly checked Donna's phone. He would call at all hours, expecting immediate answers. Questions about her whereabouts, who she was with, and what she wore slowly became part of her daily life. A girl once known for her bold, confident fashion sense now appeared in more conservative, careful outfits. When asked about it, Donna would simply smile and say, "My style has changed." But her eyes told a different story. The eyes of someone shrinking herself just to fit someone else's expectations. Donna's friends began to worry. She stopped showing up at social gatherings. Her responses became sparse. Even the upbeat posts she once shared on social media started to dwindle. It wasn't busyness pulling her away. It was control. And then came the shocking revelation. Noel Maitland, the boyfriend she trusted, was still deeply involved with another woman. Her name was Kathy Ann Smith, a female police officer in the same department as Noel. But what made the situation far more disturbing was the fact that Kathy was the mother of Noel's infant son, just 8 months old. A hidden love triangle, a tangled script of career, romance, and control, with Donna unknowingly caught at the center, crushed between two tightening walls. Noel had divided his life into two halves, one for Donna, the public sweetheart, and the other for Kathy, the quiet woman behind the scenes. He used late-night shifts, surprise assignments, and duty calls to slip between both worlds. And he did it so well that both women believed they were the only one. But like any house built on sand, every lie eventually crumbles when the truth begins to rise. July 10th, 2022. A seemingly peaceful Sunday in Jamaica. On social media, hundreds of new images were posted. Smiles, wine glasses, intimate moments. But just one photo would become the spark that ignited a national earthquake. It was a photo of Donna Lee Donaldson and Noel Maitland. They sat close at a weekend gathering, smiling with ease, their eyes locked as if the world around them had faded away. To the public eye, it was simply a sweet image of a happy couple. But to one woman, it was undeniable proof of betrayal. Kathy Ann Smith, a police officer and the mother of Noel's infant son, saw the photo. No one had to explain it to her. She knew. That look, that touch, that closeness. It wasn't just friends, as Noel had claimed time and time again. She had suspected for a while, but this time, it wasn't intuition, it was truth. Cold, raw, undeniable truth. And Kathy didn't stay silent. She took a screenshot of the photo, scrolled back through her messages with Noel, conversations that made it painfully clear that they were still together and that Donna was not the only woman in his life. Then she messaged Donnelly directly. No greetings, no passive-aggressive hints, just the evidence and the truth. Donna, the young woman who had believed she was in love with a loyal, devoted man, now stood face to face with a devastating storm. No more subtle jealousy, no more quiet suspicions. Donna now knew officially that she was not the only woman in Noel's life. Her love, her trust, and all the quiet sacrifices she had made over the past 2 years had just been shattered by a brutal truth. And then a decision was made. Donna replied. A conversation began. A quiet storm was rolling in, between 3 people bound by love, anger, and deception. July 11th, 2022. Donna Lee Donaldson, newly 24, still basking in the warmth of birthday wishes, received a familiar call from her boyfriend, police officer Noel Maitland. Without hesitation, she quietly packed a few things and left a message for her mother. "I'm going out for a bit. I'll be back." Her mother, Sophia, didn't know it yet, but that would be the last time she ever saw her daughter walk out the door. Donna got into Noel's car late that evening, just before the black BMW glided down their familiar street. She didn't carry much, no suitcase, no signs of a long trip. She had no idea that this would be a one-way journey. The next morning, July 12th, a short call rang through the quiet kitchen of the Donaldson home. It was Donna. But her voice, it was different, no longer vibrant or playful as usual. She whispered, almost like she didn't want anyone to hear. She told her mother, "Mum, can you feed the puppy for me? I don't have anything to eat today. I left the keys with the neighbor." Simple words, yet they sent a chill down Sophia's spine. Why didn't Donna have anything to eat? Why whisper as if afraid someone might overhear? And why talk about the keys when she had said she'd be home soon? The call lasted exactly 2 minutes. No "I love you," no laughter, and it would be the last time Sophia ever heard her daughter's voice. Right after, Donna's phone went dark. From someone always online, always connected. Donna vanished as if she had never existed. July 13th. The family officially reported her missing. All day, Sophia called frantically. Friends posted online. Group chats buzzed with worry. But one person, Noel Maitland, remained silent, as if nothing had happened. When questioned, Noel gave vague, contradictory explanations. "We just had a small argument. She got upset and left. She called a friend to come pick her up. I don't know where she went." But when asked who picked her up, he couldn't remember. No name, no license plate, no specific time. And the CCTV footage from the apartment building? It showed nothing. Not a single frame of Donna leaving the unit. No witness, no sound, no trace. Even stranger was Noel's demeanor. While Donna's family spiraled in despair, sleepless and searching for answers, Noel kept going to work. In uniform, calm, unshaken, as if nothing had changed. And that, perhaps, was the most terrifying part. The cold, calculated calm of a man who might be hiding a crime. Someone vanished. No body, no confession, no eyewitness. So how do you uncover the truth? The answer lies in the silent traces. Forensics spoke loud and clear. But before that came a terrifying silence. In the first 48 hours, the most critical window in any missing persons case. The police did nothing. No scene investigation, no evidence collection, no suspect interrogation. Because Noel Maitland was one of their own, a police officer, a man of the system, and the system chose silence. Until a storm of public outrage erupted. The hashtag Justice for Donna Lee spread like wildfire across Jamaican social media. Citizens took to the streets demanding answers. The media stepped in. Pressure mounted like a wave. And that pressure forced the authorities to act. When forensic experts were finally allowed into Noel Maitland's apartment, they found something horrifying. Donna's blood was found on the curtains, sofa, bathroom tiles, sink, and drain pipes. Traces of a struggle, a fight for survival, a desperate attempt to stay alive. The sofa, where the heaviest concentration of blood was found, had mysteriously disappeared. But a witness came forward. He saw Noel carrying the sofa along with a large black bag, loading it into his SUV in the early hours of July 12th. The excuse Noel gave? "I spilled wine. I needed to get it cleaned." But the witness was clear. The couch smelled strange, and the stain, didn't look like wine. When investigators opened the dishwasher in Noel's apartment, they found a kitchen knife. The blade was clean, but trapped in the grooves of the handle was Donna's DNA. Her blood was also found on a pair of sneakers Noel had hidden behind a closet. And most damning of all, on the floor mat of his SUV, they found blood that matched Donna Lee's DNA profile perfectly. Her body still hasn't been found, but every drop of blood, every scrap of carpet, every concealed trace tells the same story. Donna was murdered in that apartment on that fateful night, and the only thing the killer failed to erase was the truth. Jamaica had not seen a wave of outrage like this in over a decade. A missing girl, a police officer under suspicion, and a justice system once thought untouchable. Donna's mother, Mrs. Sophia Logan, once a quiet woman standing behind her daughter, had now become a symbol of resilience. She stood outside police headquarters, held up a photo of her daughter in the crowd, and declared, "If the law will not protect my child, then the people will demand justice for her." The hashtag Justice for Donna Lee swept across social media. It was no longer just a single criminal case. It had become an indictment of the system. For the first time, Noel Maitland, once hailed as a model officer, was arrested and charged with murder, as well as accused of concealing a body. The Jamaican police tried to calm the public with press conferences promising a thorough and fair investigation, but the people were not easily swayed, because one question still remained unanswered. What role did Kathy Ann Smith, the second woman, a fellow police officer, and the mother of Noel's child, play in all of this? She was not charged, she was not arrested, yet the public could not stop talking. People recalled previous confrontations between her and Donna. They questioned her strange silence during the early days of Donna's disappearance. The investigation also uncovered another truth, one more dangerous and deeply rooted. In the first 48 hours, no search warrant was issued. Officers involved appeared hesitant, reluctant to act against one of their own. Crucial evidence, such as security footage, was collected late or conveniently lost. No independent mechanism existed to investigate when the suspect was a police officer. This was no longer just a criminal case. It had become a moral test of the entire legal system. because true justice cannot come too late, and the truth must never be buried under a badge or a title. Donna Lee Donaldson may have had her life stolen, but it is her voice, rising from the silence soaked in blood, that awakened a nation. No one wishes for change to come at the cost of blood. But sometimes it is only in the loss of light that people begin to examine the shadows within the very system they once trusted. The death of Donna Lee Donaldson was not just a personal tragedy. It was a direct blow to a justice system long plagued by delay, cover-ups, and a lack of accountability. Months after an unprecedented wave of protests swept through Jamaica, Parliament passed a law bearing the name of the woman lost. The Donna Lee Act, a landmark legislation mandating emergency prioritization of missing persons cases, particularly when the victims are women and the circumstances involve intimate partner conflicts. In the words of Justice R.J. Thompson, who served as legislative advisor to the bill, "We did not write this law just for those who are gone. We wrote it for the women who haven't yet found their voice. Donna had to die, but in doing so, she made us live more responsibly." Under immense domestic and international pressure, the Jamaican police force was forced to reform. An independent investigative unit was established, with the authority to intervene in any case where a public servant is a suspect. No more police investigating police. No more silence wrapped in privilege. At the National Police Academy, a new 40-hour training program was introduced, dedicated entirely to handling domestic violence and identifying controlling behaviors in relationships. Previously, only 4 hours. According to human rights attorney Celia Mendez, this is the most significant reform in Jamaican law enforcement history. Donna's case didn't just scare the public, it forced the police to look inward. This is a reckoning. And amid private grief, a seed of hope was planted. The Donna Lee Donaldson Foundation, founded by her mother, has helped over 200 women escape abusive relationships in its first year, offering shelter, legal support, and safety planning. Donna is gone, but her name is no longer just that of a victim. It is now the name of a legal legacy, a wake-up call, and a guiding light for many still lost in the dark. True change doesn't begin in Parliament, it begins in pain. And sometimes, pain is the only force powerful enough to shake an entire system. Sometimes, what kills a person isn't a knife. It's the silence, the way society looks away, the moment we see but say nothing. If you're in a relationship where you always have to explain yourself, always bow your head, always ask for permission just to be yourself, please stop. Ask questions, and if you must, walk away. If you feel like you're being watched, controlled, or threatened by someone who claims to love you, remember this. That is not love. That is captivity. You are not alone. There are people ready to listen, ready to open their arms and help you step out of the darkness. And if you're not in a situation like this, look around you. Sometimes a glance, a gentle question, a simple, "Are you okay?" could be the key to saving a life. Let there be no more Donna Lees lost before society finally wakes up. Let no one have to die just for daring to live as themselves. Thank you for listening. If this video moved you, please like, subscribe, and share the message. So no voice is ever silenced. So no tear has to fall unheard. Rest in peace, Donna Lee. Your story will not be forgotten. And because of you, so many others will now live.